Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the Trillion Dollar Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is your pre-market briefing for Thursday, March 5th, 2026. We started the morning with a red folder labor print, and the initial reaction to the unemployment claims report was a move lower across all major indices, and it's continuing right now. I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. Okay, let's get into that. Red folder, that was unemployment claims, came out at 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The forecast was 215K. The actual was 213K. Slightly better than expected. However, the initial reaction after a report was moved lower across all indices. That tells us that the market is leaning for risk off right now. Now the question becomes whether that early weakness continues into the open, and looking at the chart right now, it looks like it will continue into the open. Alright, so we did have a couple earnings yesterday after market close. We had AVGO, one of our $1 trillion tickers. They had a small beat on earnings, a small beat on revenue, and as you can see, it's up about 5% from yesterday's close. Webull, terrible miss. They missed earnings by 80%, and they beat revenue by 5.5%, and it's down about 3% from yesterday's close. After market close today, we do have Costco's earnings. All right, let's get into Robert Greene's daily law. Put the NAS 100 on the screen while I read that. Okay, look wider and think further ahead. The person with the wider, more global perspective wins. Expand your game. Successful long-term investors think beyond the moment. Short-term headlines can dominate attention, but investors who win are the ones who keep a broader view, understanding business cycles and market cycles, evaluating companies over years, not days, maintaining discipline during volatility. When you look at the bigger picture, temporary market moves become far less intimidating. A wider perspective leads to better decisions. For traders, a wider perspective means zooming out before acting. Many traders get trapped reacting to the most recent move, but mastery requires seeing the higher time frame structure, understanding how macro events connect to price, recognizing where real support and resistance exist. The trader who looks wider and thinks further ahead will consistently outmaneuver traders focused only on the moment. Respect the levels, respect the volatility, let price action confirm direction. This is $1 Trillion Tickers, and I'm your host, Matt Riches. Alright, give me 1 second to finish setting up this live, y'all. You know, it take about 20 seconds to do that. Gotta click all these buttons, you know what I'm saying? All right, there we go. Let me write good morning in the chat. Let me also write peace, blessings, financial freedom. All right, there we are. All right, let's check out these pre-market levels. Actually, before that, let's check out. That's crazy that ad came up because I just was listening to a podcast and they was talking about taking magnesium. So when they say your phone is listening to what you're listening to, definitely. All right, so NVIDIA, $4.44 trillion market cap, followed by Apple, $3.85 trillion, Google, $3.67 trillion, Microsoft, $3.01 trillion, Amazon, $2.32 trillion, TSM, $1.85 trillion, Meta, $1.68 trillion, Tesla, $1.52 trillion, AVGO, $1.50 trillion, Berkshire B, $1.05 trillion, and Walmart, $1.01 trillion. All right, let's get into these pre-market levels, pre-market numbers. Okay, in the pre-market, NVIDIA is currently at 181.43. Google, 202.86. Apple, 261.71. Microsoft, 403. Amazon, 215.26. TSM, 354.50. AVGO, 332. Meta, 662.70. Tesla, falling in the pre-market. It's at 401.90. Berkshire B, looking strong in the pre-market. 493.07. And Walmart falling in the pre-market too. 125.80. All right, let's check out some of the other big dogs. Look, the unemployment data came out right here at 5:30. You see this large blue candle, which is probably a red candle on your chart. Yeah, this started it didn't start the downtrend, but it definitely continued it. And it actually broke this overnight low right here. So yeah, we definitely trending down now. We'll see what happens when market opens. But SPX currently in the pre-market 6,835. SPY 682.17. The NAS 100 25,958. QQQ 607.70. All right. Let me prepare this display here. This is an 8-chart display with the 8 most valuable companies in the world. Starting top left-hand corner, we got NVIDIA. To the right, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Underneath NVIDIA, we have Amazon. To the right, TSM, AVGO, and Meta Platforms. All right. Let's see if there's any gaps from yesterday that we need to put on the chart. So for today, I have these smart money concepts indicator on here. The red part is resistance and the blue part is support. So NVIDIA bounced on this support, which is also at my weekly level. This gap has been filled. If you was wondering what those red and blue bars were. Okay, no gaps here. And this changes per time frame too, these smart little concepts. Smart money concepts. No gaps to fill here. Nope. But Amazon is in the gap. Amazon is halfway in the gap, y'all. Amazon is halfway in the gap. Alright. And I just drew that other gap on there. Let's see. TSM. It was in the gap yesterday, but it's currently underneath the gap. AVGO. This thing is going to gap up. It had earnings yesterday, so that's going to gap up. We'll draw that gap tomorrow. Alright, looking good. Okay. Berkshire B just said it has started buying back its own stock again for the first time since 2024. All right, next. A generation of young people locked out of home ownership has found another way to build wealth, putting money into the stock market. That's per the Wall Street Journal. All right, next. Almost half of teens already make money through digital side hustles. Get that money then, teens. Get that money then. All right, we got about 15 seconds before market opens. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on the level up algo, y'all. And see if we can get some live signals. There it is. Market open, market open, market open. The market is open. March 5th, 2026. 9:30 a.m. if you in New York City. But we in Cali. Let's get it. All right. NVIDIA is down over 1% at 181.02. Google is down over 1% at 299.33. Apple is down 0.75% at 260.50. Microsoft is up almost 0.5% at 406.84. Amazon is up 0.25% at 217.62. TSM is down fractionally at 357. AVGO is up over 3% at 328. Meta is down fractionally at 667.60. Tesla is down 1% at 402. Berkshire B is up 1.25% at 493.65. And Walmart is down 2.5% at 124.86, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna take off these smart money concepts since we got the algo on. They had a sell way early in the pre-market. Let's see what we got. Oh, Google selling out hard on this first candle, y'all. That was a great call in the pre-market from right here. Let's see. Had a buy in the pre-market on Amazon. TSM had a strong buy in the pre-market. Man, it's too early. We're not taking those signals. It's too early. Let's get back to the news. All right. Billionaire investor Vinod Koshla, with a long history of anticipating upcoming tech, said he thinks AI will soon replace millions of jobs by early 2030s, stating today's 5-year-olds likely won't need traditional employment as abundance makes work optional for passions. He sound like Elon. Maybe these billionaires know something that we don't. We'll see though. All right, next. This is from Business Insider. Wellness era repositioning is crucial for brands like Cinnabon and Jamba. They are simultaneously navigating the slowing of built-in foot traffic in American malls. Go-To Foods, parent company of Cinnabon and Jamba, is adapting to GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic by innovating menus with high protein. For example, the 68 grams of protein in Moe's bowl. Fiber-focused and smaller portion items to match reduced appetites without overt drug-specific labeling, avoiding consumer rejection seen in over a third of cases. This appetite economics repositioning elevates existing offerings like bite-sized burrito dippers and promotes digestive health benefits, appealing to wellness seekers beyond just medication users, including fitness trackers and macro-focused eaters. Declining U.S. mall traffic exacerbates thin margins for food court brands like Cinnabon, prompting workarounds such as kids' menu hacks for portions, while Jamba's versatile lineup positions it for upcoming expansion in the protein-first trend. Yeah, I'm definitely a macro-focused eater, and I do have a fitness tracker. I won't even go to Cinnabon, though. I already know how unhealthy it is. And I'm not going to Jamba Juice for no expensive-ass smoothie that I can just make at my house for the low. Man. But, I do like this idea of workarounds such as kids menu hacks for portions. It's actually, you should try it. Just buy something off the kids menu, it'll give you a small portion, you'll be full. Eat it slow and you'll be full. Drink a lot of water too. Hey, but if you ain't trying to spend all that bread, try it out. I'm telling you. I tried it out before. It has worked. I don't know if it'll work at all establishments, but definitely found that it worked at some. All right, next. Unusual Whale says, Trump administration facilitates a large gold order between the U.S. and Venezuela with up to 1,000 kilograms of gold to be shipped to the U.S. Trump said we gonna need 1,000 keys. We're gonna need 1,000 keys of gold, y'all. All right, next. Let's check out the Fear and Greed Index and see where we at. We are still in fear, about halfway in fear. We are at 37 in the Fear and Greed Index, y'all. All right. Okay, it's been 5 minutes since market open. Let's see if we have any new signals. Let's run these $1 trillion tickers first. It's for my day traders right here. Okay, we have a potential buy signal after this candle closes on NVIDIA. Nope, it just went away. That's why you gotta wait for the candle to close. We got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And this buy signal will stick. If not, yeah, maybe not. It's just chopping right now. But we'll come back to it in 2.5 minutes. Let's see, Google. We got a sell, and we had that sell in the pre-market. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a signal based on the first candle. So that's what I'm doing right now, y'all. It should definitely be a signal here. Microsoft. Oh, they had a buy signal right before market open. Great call though, because that thing it's already at. You'd have had to get in at market opening, and that's very risky. But it's already at TP2. It's headed to TP3 right now. TP3 is 409.57. But oh wow, okay, Amazon looking very strong right now. Oh, they had a buy in the pre-market as well. All right. Remember, market just opened, so we got time, folks. We got time. TSM had a buy in the pre-market. Wow, these pre-market signals are pretty good. I haven't seen any crazy reversals off the pre-market signal so far. Look, we had a sell in the pre-market. Let's see. I'm gonna get on the other tickers in a second. Okay, we had a buy signal here on Meta. First candle. Entry was 664.32. It went up to 665.85 and pulled back. So that was a $1.50 move before it started pulling back. It's now underneath the entry, but $1.50 move, if you have precision entry, then you could have made some bread, but it's definitely pulled back now. We'll check back on that later. All right, Tesla. Tesla got a strong buy, y'all. Tesla got a strong buy on the first candle. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. 404.68 is the entry. We're right at the entry, with the target being 409.05 and the stop loss being 430 cents. This is live. This is live right now if you want it on Tesla. I'm not saying get into it, but I'm saying this is what the algo is showing, y'all. All right, next. So I gave you the entry, the stop loss, and the target. Okay, Berkshire, they had a signal pre-market. We want the signals after the market opens. Okay, we can check back on NVIDIA and see. Nope, that thing reversed. So no buy signal. You see how you gotta wait for the candle to close, because this was a buy signal earlier, but we had to wait for the candle to close to see if that buy signal was going to stay, and it did not. So it is going to continue down. They did have a strong sell in the pre-market. All right, let's check out these other tickers, y'all. SPX. Look at this line, this white line right here. This is the first day of 2026. We are still underneath here. Very close. Okay, SPX, they got a buy signal for our futures traders. You got a buy signal at 6:30, but it did have a close signal 5 minutes later, so don't take it. All right, let's check out SPY. Very strong first candle. Had a buy signal here after the first candle closed at 684.13. The thing ran up 30 cents and pulled back. The stop loss is 681.85 cents. Target being 684.41. So I wouldn't get in it. I'm not saying get in any of these. I'm just giving you what the algo is giving us. All right, so we got a buy signal here on the NAS 100 at 6:30. If you trading futures, the entry is 25,052. It did run up about 30 ticks and has pulled back, and now it's back around the entry. So I don't like it. QQQ. Got a buy signal here on the first candle, and it's just been consolidating ever since. It's right back at the entry. Alright. So let me run these numbers while I do this. So SPX is down over 0.25% at 6,846. SPY is down over 0.25% at 683.02. The NASDAQ 100 is down 0.25% at 25,042. And QQQ is down fractionally at 609.90. Pam Bondi's Dow Jones is way down from 50,000. Had a buy signal here, but it ran up about 40 ticks and got a clap back. We got a close signal here, so go ahead and get out if you already in. The Dow Jones ETF. Oh, we got a sell signal. Let's see if it holds. We got to wait one more minute to see if this sell signal holds on the Dow Jones ETF. It's currently down over 0.75% at 483.92. Check out the VIX, y'all. The VIX gapped down, but it's running back up now. The VIX gapped down to under 22. Now it's back over 22. So yeah, it's a lot of chop so far. The 10-year Treasury note has gapped up tremendously. Yesterday it was at 408. That thing ran up to 414. Check out gold. Gold is down almost 1% at $5,096 an ounce. The gold mini shares is at $100.85. Silver is down 1.25%. Oh yeah, they got faked out on that one. Copper Miners ETF is down over 5%. They sold off hard. The sell signal was great right here at 2:30 a.m. That thing sold off crazy. Alright, AMD. AMD got a strong buy in the first 5-minute candle, but its pullback is down about $1 since the entry. Yeah, we might have to go to a bigger time frame. This 5-minute thing ain't it. Alright, market been open for 15 minutes, so let's go to the 10-minute chart. Actually, let's go to the 15-minute chart, since the 15-minute candle just closed. And let's see if we have any trades. Okay, we did have a buy, but we do have a potential close signal here, so I don't like it. Alright, Bitcoin. What we got? Bitcoin got a sell at 5 a.m. And it hit TP2. It looked like it's headed toward TP3. IBIT, it's over $40 a share. I ain't seen that for a while. Did have a strong sell in the pre-market. Hit TP1 and TP2. Ethereum. Yeah, so the bigger the time frame, the bigger the move, the stronger the conviction you can have. Ethereum at a sell signal at 5 a.m. hit TP1 and TP2. BMNR had a sell signal in the pre-market, hit TP1. Palantir is up 1%. Palantir is over 150. Okay. Palantirely is strong. I remember that thing was under 130 when I wanted to buy it. But all my bread is tied up still. Part of the game. Alright, it did have a buy signal in the pre-market. And Robinhood. Robinhood had a wonderful event yesterday. I got some news on Robinhood too, so let me get back to the news actually. So they had a strong sell in the pre-market, came in TP1. Alright, let me get back to the news. I just wanted to try that out. It did take a long time. I think I can do that with the $1 trillion tickers, but not everything, because it just takes way too long. Alright, next. NVIDIA refocuses TSM capacity as exports controls stall China sales. So NVIDIA has halted production of the H200 AI chips tailored for China, redirecting TSM's manufacturing capacity to the upcoming Vera Rubin platform as the U.S. export restrictions and anticipated Chinese import curbs eliminate near-term sales potential. This decision follows stalled U.S. approvals for over 1 million planned H200 units. Only 250,000 were produced with zero revenue generated, highlighting ongoing tensions in U.S.-China tech trade since 2022. Export controls aimed at limiting advanced semiconductor access. For NVIDIA investors, the shift accelerates Vera Rubin development amid global AI demand, potentially mitigating China's revenue loss once 20-25% of sales, but underscoring risk from geopolitical barriers with no immediate stock impact reported today. All right. This is from the master investor, Ian Dunlap. He said, 4 AI-proof and war-proof stocks: Walmart, Amgen, Eli Lilly, and Costco. All right. Remember yesterday I was talking about Anthropic refused to give the government full access to their stuff because they didn't want AI to be used to surveil on Americans, and they didn't want fully autonomous weaponry because it wasn't ready to do it safely. Well, ChatGPT, they came in and they said they'll do it. And then what happened? ChatGPT uninstall surged by 295%. People's like, oh, so they don't care. Uninstall. That's what I said yesterday. Are people going to switch to Claude? Because Anthropic owns Claude. Are they going to switch because Anthropic stood tall and they refused to give the government full access? And ChatGPT came in and was like, man, we'll do it. We don't care. So that's a lot. That's almost 300% uninstalls after that came out. All right, next. 51% of Gen Z has said that their college degree is a waste of money. Ooh. Yeah, that thing expensive too. Next, Morgan Stanley just announced it will be laying off 2,500 people, or roughly 3% of its workforce. They had a total of 83,000 employees, but they will be eliminating 2,500 jobs. That's Morgan Stanley. Could expect a lot more from all these other companies as well. Next, Alibaba, ByteDance, and Tencent are turning to domestic chip makers to ease the pain from a deepening global shortage of memory chips, y'all. So they're not going to be able to get them NVIDIA chips either, huh? All right, next, Palantir CEO incurred $17.2 million of business and personal private jet expenses in 2025, y'all. Why not? Shit. All right, next. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, OpenAI, Oracle, and XAI executives have signed a pledge to ensure that Americans' electric bills don't increase as a result of building out all these data centers to support AI. Shout out to them. I think Trump talked about that before. All right, next. This is from Ian Dunlap as well. He had put out a new, I don't know if he created it, but he posted it. It says there's 7 levels when it comes to this money. If you got under 10K, I don't know if this is net worth or income. It's probably net worth. Okay, so level 1, lower class, under $10,000 net worth. Level 2, working class, between $10,000 and $100,000 net worth. Level 3, middle class, between $100,000 and $1 million. Ooh, I gotta hit $1 million before I can get out of middle class. Damn. Next, level 4, upper middle, between $1 million and $10 million. Level 5, upper class, between $10 million and $100 million. And level 6, the super rich, more than $100 million, y'all. Ooh. And he also said we got some work to do. Yes, I got some work to do if I want to make it to the upper middle class. Ooh, I gotta hit $1 million before I can do it. All right. Motivation. Let's get it. We gonna get it from the market. All right. This is from Investing Bay on Twitter. She said, "This CEO burger trend is a recession indicator." Thought that was pretty funny. All right. This is from Wallow, some motivation. Your discipline today is someone else's inspiration tomorrow. Stay consistent. Someone is watching your resilience. All right. Next. An NVIDIA-powered farming machine uses AI vision and precision lasers to eliminate weeds in milliseconds without herbicides and without harming crops. A potential shift towards chemical-free agriculture. Ooh, we need that. We need that, y'all. We need that. That's dope. That's super dope. Yeah, Monsanto ain't gonna like that. Next, Home Depot is giving free training for trades. HVAC, carpentry, electrician, construction, all self-paced classes, and you can earn certificates. Shout out Home Depot. If you're looking for a career change, Home Depot is giving free training for these trades, y'all. All right, next. It's from 19 Keys. Men can learn a lot from the history of cowboys. We need to restore those rites of passage because when young men are trained through discipline, skill, and responsibility, they grow into builders and protectors, not spectators. Remember, he had that high-level conversations with the brother from the Black Farmers Association. That was a pretty dope episode, too. Get a chance to check it out. All right, next. I thought this was super dope. One of the most underrated features of Grok is its ability to summarize long videos for you. Drop a video in Grok and get a summary in seconds. Try it out now. So it's saying all you have to do is get the video and type "give me a full summary" and post it in Grok, and Grok will give you a full summary. That can save a lot of time. That's super dope. That's super dope. All right, let's get back to the let's check out the sectors. See what we got. XLK is up almost 1% at 141.11. XLY is up almost 0.5% at 116.93. XLC is up almost 0.25% at 119.04. XLF is up fractionally at 51.87. XLV is down 1.5% at 154.72. XLP is down 1.25% at 86.04. XLE is up 1% at 56.81. XLU is down 1% at 46.82. XLI is down 0.75% at 174.58. XLB is down 0.5% at 51.86, and XLRE is down 1.25% at 43.23. Let's check out some of our ETFs we like to look at on the show. IWM is down 0.5% at 260.40. SPYM is barely under break even. QQQM is up 0.25%. SPYG is up 0.25%. SOXQ is up 0.5%. TQQs is up over 0.5%. SOXL is up over 1%. SOXX is up 33%. XLG is barely over break even. The IVES 30 is up over 1.25%. SPYI is barely under break even. QQQI is barely over break even, almost 0.25%. Alright, let's turn on the algo. It's 7 o'clock, so we got two 15-minute candles. So let's go on the 15-minute chart and see if we have any new signals, y'all. We got a buy signal on NVIDIA. Just printed. Entry 182.46. Stop loss 180.90. Take profit 184.03, y'all. That is a brand new signal right there. And as you can see, our board right here, everything is green except the short trend and the volume. Alright, let's see. Google, do we got anything on Google? Do we got a new signal? No, we only have the pre-market signal. But Google is currently down 0.5% at 301.65. Alright, Apple, no new signal. They had a pre-market signal. It's down almost 1% at 260. Microsoft is up 1.25%. They had a buy signal at the initial 15-minute candle. The entry was 408.97. Stop loss is 404.40, and take profit is 413.53. It's currently $1.24 above the entry. So I'll let you decide if you want to wait for it to get back to the entry or you just missed that trade. Okay, Amazon, they did have a buy on the first 15-minute candle, but it's currently down 72 cents from that entry. So it's not looking good on that one. But the stop loss is 215.59 with the target being 224.37. TSM. TSM had a strong buy Brand new candle is up 45 cents from the entry. 358.36 is the entry. 354.10 is the stop loss. 362.61 is the TP1. It is in a gap right now too, just so you know that. All right, AVGO. It has a potential buy, but you gotta wait 12 minutes for this candle to close. And Meta Platforms. Meta had a strong buy, just printed. It's only 21 cents from the entry. The entry is 668.65. Stop loss is 663.03. And TP1 is 674.26, y'all. Brand new signal on Meta. Tesla. Tesla had a buy signal on the first 15-minute candle. The entry was 404.58. It's currently 80 cents above that. With the take profit being 408.80 and the stop loss being 400. Berkshire B. They had a signal in the pre-market, but not since the open. We only looking for signals since the open. Walmart. They had a sell signal in the pre-market. Alright, so that's it, y'all. You know how y'all like this new format that I'm doing, giving the signals on the... At first I was doing the 5-minute chart, but that could get faked out too easy. So we're going to do it on a 15-minute chart. We're going to do it at 6:45, and then we're going to check back at 7 o'clock. And we just going to do it like that for the day traders, y'all. All right, let's get into some Instagram before we get up out of here.
Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
That was Dr. George Fraser.
So look at the stock market and investing. It's like, I'm not saying you have to invest in the stock market, but I can tell you right now, you can't save or work your way to wealth. And people have, I'm going to save money. Good. How has that gotten you? I'm going to work. Great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I work in my company too. You cannot solely rely on that. And you can go start your business. I did that too. It took me a very long time to get to where I am. And it's not for everybody, but you can invest in somebody else's business. I'd rather make money off of Amazon continuing to become a multi-trillion-dollar business while I go build my company.
Big facts.
It don't happen overnight. And there's going to be moments when it's really, really frustrating. And there's going to be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're going to take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work and appreciating it, when it's good and not stressing too bad when it's bad. Just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
That's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is your $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. We'll be back tomorrow in the pre-market. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hopefully y'all made some bread on them calls. If you took them, if you didn't, don't worry about it. Maybe you could paper trade it just to see, test it out. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.